Welcome back to the Steelers Week edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Drop below who you have getting a sack against the Steelers on Sunday. That and so much more on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. Welcome back to episode 357 of the Purple Rain podcast. The Bart Scott, Christian Welch, CJ Mosley, Josh Bynes, and OJ Brigance, edition of the Purple Rain podcast. Chat's already trickling in as we speak right now, but first off, you can follow us on Instagram here, the Purple Rain podcast. That guy all the way over there, Mr. Sutton Def on Instagram or on X at Sutton Def. Me, Instagram simply as10.pro, X simply as10. But most importantly, our special guest, the Flock Rundown in the middle here, who if you want to follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and then subscribe to him on YouTube, right there in the description. Don't forget, just scroll on down, press the link, it takes you right there. A big thank you to Ryan for coming through on this big preview edition, Steelers Week. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Biggest rivalry, I think, in the NFL. I might be biased. So much to talk about, but how are we doing? How are we feeling? It's honestly do or die right now, I feel like.
What up, Ryan?
What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys having me on. And yeah, man, do or die week 100%. That's how I'm feeling too. It is back against the wall. Both teams kind of struggling. Who's going to show up, And I think I like our guys, man. I like our chances. But this does feel, and I'm biased too about the rivalry, but this does, I know it's not the same physicality. It's not the same players, but at least there's something on the line. It feels special. You know what I mean? This feels like this week has some importance to it. It's not just like, oh, here we go, another week. It is Ravens Steelers for first place.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge matchup. Like you said, I mean, I've mentioned this all week on the channel, and Ryan, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but if the Ravens win this game, they have a 76% chance to make the playoffs. If they don't win this game, they only have a 30% chance to make the playoffs. So this is a playoff game in itself, right? So it's a huge week. Ravens versus Steelers. It's actually kind of criminal that we have to wait 14 weeks into the season to see a Ravens versus Steelers football game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm more of a fan of like splitting it up. Like, give us the Steelers on the first half of the season, then give us one on the back half of the season. But both of these like in rapid succession within like basically like a month.
Bengals too.
It's tough. And Bengals, right?
Yeah, all of
it's crazy. We went from Bengals, we lost that game on Thanksgiving, Steelers, and then Bengals next week as well. So, NFL schedule makers not doing us any favors there, but we got to close this season strong because we definitely did not start this season strong. And we're going to get into what the Ravens need to do to get a victory this Sunday. But first, we have a super chat donation. This one's coming from DWAS. Our guy DWAS. Appreciate the two-piece in the chat here. Kicking us off here on episode 357 of the Purple Rain podcast as Alex Moore is the referee on Sunday. And Alex, I normally ask you, like, what are the notable moments from the referee of our upcoming game? And I know what you're going to say, so go ahead and take it away, man.
Actually, I can take credit because it's Tuesday tradition, actually, that Mr. DWAS or Wednesday calls me personally and lets me know who the referee is. And I asked him, I said, who's the referee? And he told me it's a year one guy. And he said he actually had, a run-in with Lamar. I'm like, well, explain me some more. Mr. Alex Moore was the referee who tripped Lamar Jackson on Christmas Day 2023 against the 49ers. Remember he fell in the end zone for the safety? That's Alex Moore. That's our head referee this week. So just get ready for it.
Yeah. I remember that game. And like when that happened, I honestly thought we were going to lose, to be honest with you. I thought we were going to lose from that moment because that happened like, I think like maybe our first or second drive, something like that. And I was like, oh, the refs are going to work as this game. But lo and behold, the Ravens, the defense stepped up. They were picking off Brock Purdy. Kyle Hamilton had 2 picks in that game. That was a very big game for Kyle Hamilton. Mike McDonald, that was probably my favorite Mike McDonald sideline performance. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so sad that he's not any longer a Raven. But that's another episode for another day. Again, thank you for your super chat donation, DWAS. We also have Jing in the chat. Jing in the chat, popping in one of our members here, celebrating 3 months of membership here with the Rain Gang. Says, hey, y'all, let's go get this win on Sunday. Appreciate you, Jing. Shout out to you. So, yeah. guys, without any further ado, and actually, as a matter of fact, real quick, got to give a quick shout out to the members in the chat. I see D-Wiz is in the chat. What's going on, D-Wiz? Kwame Prod is in the chat. 86 Ghost is in here. Sip to Tally Film. Shout out to Coach.
Hey.
Tila M85. What's going on, Tila? Another one of our members. Let me see what other members we got in here. I think those are all of the Rain Gang members right now, but we've got a lot more people in the chat. So the Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. We got a good episode for you guys, a really good show. So make sure you stay tuned. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also, please, be sure, scroll down, click in the description, and look and see, 86 Ghosts. Another membership. Renewing the membership. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. But yeah, look in the description and see the flock rundown. There's a little link in there. Click on that link. Subscribe to my guy's channel. He's closing in on 15,000 subs, guys. 15,000 subs. Let's see if we can help him get there. We'd appreciate that.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay. And again, 86 Ghosts celebrating 1 month of membership, says peeping game, and game has been peeped. Uh-oh. I don't know if I know what that means, but our guy 86 Ghosts is a little bit competitive. All right, let's go ahead and get into what we came in here to get into, right? So first order up. See, we got another one. Shelly, another new member in the house. It's one of them. Shout out to Shelly joining the Rain Gang. We appreciate you, sister. All right, so the new news, right? Chris M also renewing the membership. You guys are going crazy. Shout out to y'all. We got to get into this news, guys. All right, here we go. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get to the news now. So Mark Andrews was extended, right? That was the biggest news that came out yesterday. And Ryan, I want to toss it to you first on this one. Mark Andrews gets extended 3 years, $39.3 million. Do you like this move? Do you love this move? Or do you hate this move? And why?
Man, it's going to be a multifaceted answer here. It's like bittersweet. I like the move. I love Mark Andrews. I'm not mad about like him being here for a few more years. Great red zone threat, team leader, literally triple crown leader in receptions, touchdowns, receiving yards, like Raven GOAT. So I'm not mad about him being here for another couple years. And the value's not terrible. He's like making, I think, 5th right now, tight end money, which is like slotted in between Jake Ferguson and like David Njoku and Freiermuth. So that's the category of like value we're talking. So I don't mind it from that standpoint, but I hate that there's a high chance that we lose Isaiah Likely now. I think that's the negative in all this. So it's like bittersweet because losing Andrews too is also a loss. If we just had Likely next year, like I think we're worse for not having Andrews, but we're worse with not having both of them. So it hopefully, we'll see what the full story plays out of the offseason here. There's a lot of guys to pay. We'll see how this strategy lines up and if this was like a smart move. But if we end up losing Likely and we still can't pay Linderbaum or Travis Jones or one of those guys, then it sucks, man. But if we can somehow keep a lot of the crew together and Likely maybe wants to come back for a year, I don't know why he would. He's probably going to want more opportunity. But if we can figure that out, then I'm happy with this signing. I just want to keep the guys together.
And that's fair. Alex, I'll toss it to you first, and I'll give mine. Like it, love it, or hate it.
I hated it at first. I didn't sign him. I guess I know why we did, but money. But I had a day to like cool off. I'm at a like it. I'm right there with Ryan. I do hate the fact that we might lose Likely and even Kolar as well. I would love to get at least one of them back, but Kolar's blocking really showed the difference between him and Likely. I think with like getting blown up on that one interception last week. But as for Andrews, I think it's a 2-year deal. In all realness, I don't think he'll go past that. I think these 2 years and maybe we can do some adjustment or maybe end of his career. I'm not too sure, but I don't think he plays out the full 3 without possibly a restructure. But I'm at a like it. I think maybe nudge like get my guy signed up as well. He has a hole on the front office. His input is valued, and I think that definitely could be something there. But I just don't want to think about Isaiah Likely. I ripped it off now. I had a night to think about it. I think it's Travis Kelce's last year. He could very well be a Chief next year. If not there, he could go where he played college in Carolina. I think the Panthers could really use a guy like we've seen Bryce Young, take the next step this year. Those are my 2 landing spots for him if he were to leave Baltimore. I much prefer Carolina than Kansas City, but more importantly, I love to see him in black and purple again. But I'm gonna like it. I just don't want to see us lose him. Maybe there's that. They surprised me with Bateman a couple years ago. I thought he was good as gone. Signed him to a team-friendly deal. He didn't got so that definitely card. if he wants to bet himself, there will be suitors out there for him.
Yeah, I mean, there will. And I'll just say that. Let me start off my take with saying this, man. I hated it. I was not a fan of the Mark Andrews extension at all. By the way, shout out to 86 Ghosts gifting a membership in the chat. We appreciate that, 86 Ghosts. Salute to you. But I hated it. And the main reason why I hated this move was because the equation of having 11 draft picks, right, plus historically being good at drafting tight ends does not equal extending a declining Mark Andrews, who has never been a playoff riser for this team, right? When the going gets tough in the playoffs and Lamar Jackson is trying to will his team to victory, Mark Andrews, who's supposed to be another leader of this team, has never shown up in the biggest moments. And with a team, with a roster that has so many glaring holes at this point, well, not even so many necessarily, but just other areas that need more attention and more focus than tight end, I just don't see how this move makes a whole bunch of sense. It feels more so like a feel good move for the Ravens, right? I mean, you got Triple Crown Mark, you know what I'm saying? Just got married, right? We've had Mark Andrews. He's one of the longest tenured players on the team. So it's a feel good thing. We pay our day ones. I think I saw somebody in the chat say that. So I get it from that standpoint. But this is a business, not a family. And the way that the Ravens move, you would think that everybody in that front office has the last name Bishotti, right? And everybody is on the same page with these type of ordeals. But for me, again, I just don't really see how, again, with the Ravens being so good at how good they are at drafting tight ends, how you don't decide to move forward from a Mark Andrews. Like, I just don't see how you think that Mark Andrews' best playing time, his best playing days are ahead of him instead of behind him. I don't understand that. Ryan, to that, what do you say?
Yeah, no, I hear the playoff performance for sure. I hear the declining slightly. I mean, I think what we're seeing right now is probably what we're going to see more of for the next like year or two, and it's not going to be a 3-year deal most likely. I guess my response to that would be like, did you want to pay Likely then, like a similar amount or more than that, or were you trying to just go young and just draft period, or maybe sign Kohler to a value deal because Likely was going to command that, if not more. I mean, there was rumors in the offseason that we offered 13 million and he said, nah. So you know what I mean? So like he wants more than that. So would you have paid up for him? And is he worth more or, you know, like where are you dispersing that money? Are you just valuing like building the trenches only and like not putting, you know, finances towards the tight end spot? Cause I mean, I felt like we had to pay somebody. It just looks like the Ravens are choosing Mark Andrews.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but I think for me, I would have rather stuck with Likely, you know, pay him, franchise tag him, whatever you got to do, right? Stick with him, move on from Mark Andrews. He's an older commodity, right? And then go and invest in the draft, get younger. You know what I mean? Like I like the nucleus that we have so far with Charlie Kolar and Isaiah Likely being the young guys in that tight end room. But again, man, Mark Andrews, he's declining. It's clear as day. You know, his hands aren't nearly as what they used to be. You know, last year we saw him make some amazing catches in the regular season, only for him to not make those same amazing type of catches in the postseason and even
He can do
a drive
it,
away.
He can do it. It just sucks that he hasn't in those big moments, but it's not like he can't catch the ball.
But if he hasn't done it, if he hasn't done it in the playoff, if he hasn't done it in the biggest moments, right?
It's a couple small examples. I'll take the big sample size of Mark Andrews' entire career of him coming through.
Sure. But it feels like this. It's not even just more so like a physical thing, just like catching the ball. It's a mental blockage right now with Mark Andrews, right? I saw somebody in the chat say, well, actually, no, it was a super chat donation. Let me get to that. Let me actually get to that. I don't want to miss that. Somebody says, Sutton, who are the playoff risers? Says Kwame, right? Which is a very fair question. There's not a whole lot of them on the Ravens team.
What I was thinking. I was like, it's a lot of mental blocks.
Yeah, you're right. But what I will say is this. Lamar Jackson, because I that would be the first person that I would go to when I talk about a playoff riser, and people would automatically combat me by saying, oh, well, look at his touchdown to interception ratio in the postseason. Fair. Very, very fair. Look at his overall playoff record in the postseason. Very, very fair. Again. However, if you think about Lamar Jackson, think about a game, playoff, regular season, whenever, where he's made mistakes. And those mistakes led to the Ravens just absolutely getting blown out. And Lamar Jackson was never able to put that team back in position to either tie or go ahead and win that game. You know what I mean? So when we talk about a playoff riser, I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. He makes some mistakes, yes, but I don't feel like Lamar Jackson should have to play perfectly completely mistake-free football in order to win playoff games. So that's why I think he's a playoff riser. Nobody says that Tom Brady was a playoff choker because he had multiple playoff games where he had multiple turnovers, and guess what? His team still found a way to win, right? So I think you need playoff risers around your star player because in the playoffs, they're not going to be able to do it all, right? They're going to make somebody else beat you. That's what playoff teams do. They take away your best player and they say, hey, look, somebody else is going to have to make the game-winning, game-saving play. Mark Andrews just has not been that guy in all 8 years of Lamar Jackson's career, which is why I think that they should have moved on from him, man. Alex, what are you thinking, though?
I do agree, and I hate to say, he's kind of one of the biggest chokers, I say, on the team when you kind of look, starting 2019, the tip, which led to a Kevin Byard interception, obviously the drop. But I feel like once again, it's going to go back to the quarterback. I think they want to keep him around. I think Lamar vouch for this. I really do, and you're not going to give him, 3 years if you're not going to have your quarterback come back, especially Lamar. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I like it, but I just don't want to fathom losing Likely and Kolar. I think it was, Andrews, and I think Andrews and Kolar, or Likely and Kolar, and then Andrews. So Likely, though, I think, him rejecting that contract, which every reliable source, I think, has said he rejected the contract. That could, we can look back on that next year and be like, well, that was a good thing or it was a bad thing, but time will tell. If he bet on himself now and took it, we're looking at that contract as it's not worth it because he got hurt and really hasn't produced this year. Obviously, last game he produced. Don't get me wrong, but if we're using the whole rest of the year before, hasn't. So it's a catch-22, unfortunately. So right now they're gonna pay the guy who's been there for the past 8 years rather than the guy who's shown up, and you can argue that with, well, Likely in the playoffs has stepped up, and I agree. That's why I want to pay him. Likely is a clutch player to me. In the playoffs, he shows up when his name's called upon. But I just rely too much on tight ends in 2025. That's my moral of this. I
Also
don't think
fair.
we should be relying this much on them. I think Likely was producing when he's lined up as a receiver, not a tight end. It's 2025. Let's get out of this whole tight end heavy set. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other episode. I think we could talk about that for an hour, to be honest.
We could. But we're not going to. We're going to go ahead and move on from that and into what we actually came here to talk about, which is the Ravens' current state. And, some news today broke that Lamar Jackson did not practice, right? And this was much to Ravens fans around the world's chagrin because we were thinking that we were going to get a full week of practice for Lamar Jackson and most of the other Ravens as well, including some guys who are coming back like Tavius Robinson or Darius Washington. We're going to get into the full health report in a little bit, but let me let you hear what Todd Monken had said about Lamar Jackson missing practice today and whether or not he expects him to play on Sunday. Let's take a listen.
Each week, trying to get healthy enough to be able to play every Sunday. I mean, that's what I see out of him. I see a guy that's battling, little nagging injuries, things that are stopping him from being able to get out there every day and practice. So again, that's what I see. I see a guy battling. Well, I just give him a lot of credit. He's battling each week, trying to get healthy enough to be able to play every Sunday. I mean, that's what I see out of him. I see a guy.
Well, there it is. Todd Monken saying that he sees a guy battling out there. Of course, Lamar Jackson is dealing with a litany of lower half injuries. I mean, we're talking about the knee, we're talking about the hamstring, we're talking about the toe, we're talking about the ankle, all sorts of things that Lamar Jackson is dealing with right now. Before we go any further into that, I think I might have missed a super chat donation in here. Do I see a super chat donation? Chris M says she sent a super chat donation. I don't see it in the chat. I'll continue to keep looking for that, but Ryan, when you hear Todd Monken say that he sees a guy battling through some of these nagging injuries that Lamar Jackson is dealing with, does that give you any concern going forward for the rest of this season? Like realistic expectations, if all of us Ravens fans, we want to go all the way, make a deep playoff run, win the Super Bowl, whole 9 yards, right? But how much does Lamar's current health status kind of deter those thoughts for you and those hopes for you that the Ravens can actually go on a deep playoff run? What's your concern level?
Yeah, I'm at like a 5, just mainly because he doesn't look like moving around out there on game day. It doesn't look terrible, but his inaccuracy has been more inconsistent than we've been used to for sure, especially compared to last year. And his decisiveness, he's being a little bit more hesitant in spots. I think that started with the O-line being so inconsistent and then also piling on these injuries that he's dealing with. And he's even said it himself. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, where he was saying that he's never dealt with this many in-season injuries. So it's something he's navigating for the first time, really. And so there's definitely some concern level there. I think they're taking it I'm not concerned about him missing practice, because I really think that they are trying to heal him within the midst of the season, which isn't easy to do. And I'm not saying that they can do that. So there is some concern level. But I think that if he can rest throughout the week and start to heal this a little bit more and not re-aggravated badly on game day, there is a chance he can get back to his fully healthy self or close to it. And then we start seeing a better Lamar Jackson down the road, down the stretch, which would be huge for the team. We need him this Sunday, man. We need prime Lamar right now. There's definitely some concern level there, but I'm not like chucking the season away, because I think that he's the type of guy that can get through this too. We're talking about a month of struggle here. He missed a month, and then it's been a month back. He's only thrown one touchdown pass in the last 4 games. That's weird. So like, if we can see an elevated Lamar, if he can start to get a little bit more comfortable or even just heal up a little bit and raise his play, I think this whole offense starts to click and get some momentum going again. And then we won't be as concerned. But yeah, there's some concern there.
Yeah, totally agree there. I mean, I'm definitely concerned because even Lamar Jackson, when he runs the football, in the past couple of weeks, people have been saying like, oh, Lamar's getting healthy. Finally, look at that run right there. I mean, he's looking like he's getting back to Lamar Jackson form. And me knowing Lamar Jackson and following this guy since Louisville days, and I know he's not that young anymore. He's not like a young spring chicken anymore or anything like that, but he still does not look the same. Cutting off of either ankle, like the way that he would normally do in making people miss. I saw a crazy stat today that said like on all of Lamar Jackson's design runs, he's made 0 guys miss this season, right? And of course he hasn't been hurt the entire season, but a lot of these games on the back half of the season, you've kind of seen that show up on tape. Like he's not really able to make the same sort of electric moves that we're used to Lamar Jackson making. Alex, what's your kind of concern level with Lamar Jackson missing practice today and then for the rest of the season in his health wise? What do you think?
He said he made no defenders miss this year on runs.
On design runs.
Oh, design. Okay, I was about to say, because that week 1 run against the Bills, like the whole defense missed them. But okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm concerned if I'm putting like a number behind a 7.5. Obviously, missing game practices to me is not the end of the world, but I'm definitely nervous about it. I'd say. The good news, though, I think, is like more mental than physical as well. I think he just needs 1 touchdown, and that kind of like everybody like, all right, it's Lamar. And if I think there's a video on Twitter I saw like the amount of drop touchdowns or should be touchdowns from the past couple of games, like this isn't a Lamar inaccuracy thing. There's been drops in the end zone, there's been pass interference. Not like he's just going out there playing like Jim Clausen, with all due respect. He's going out, he's still performing. I think he was graded as a top 10 quarterback, I want to say, one of the past few games as well. He's not playing bad whatsoever. It's just, I think, bad luck. Kind of like the whole season, it's been bad luck. But I'm only nervous, I'd say, for the running aspect, because when his legs aren't there, defenses don't respect Derrick Henry. And why should you? This line cannot get a hold, and he doesn't trust this line either. So I'm more concerned for the run game, I'd say, than anything else, because without that, our pass game obviously is the best, and the stacked it up, which we'll go into pretty soon.
Totally. I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, you just have to be a threat, at least be a threat. We talked to Jason from Huddle It Up Films, our really good episode on Monday. Make sure you guys rewind and check that one out if you haven't already. Jason from @Huddle It Up Films, he was saying how, yeah, I mean, if Lamar Jackson can just kind of hold that defender like he's used to doing, that brings back an entire separate element that the Ravens are used to having with Lamar Jackson when he's able to flash his running ability. So that's something that hopefully the Ravens can get back. It doesn't really seem like they're going to get that back anytime soon because Lamar Jackson, the games just keep coming, right? Every 7 days, they just keep coming. We've already had our bye week. We're not really getting rest like that anymore. It's just game after game. And by the way, now you're playing the bulk of your divisional games, which are all very physical. You're going into probably the most physical one this upcoming Sunday. So, and by the way, it's getting colder outside. Injuries get worse when it's cold, right? So it's one of those things I think that the Ravens will continue to be handicapped with, unfortunately. However, let's go ahead and move into the I-word report for the Ravens. Alex, do you actually have that for us here, the I-word report?
Oh yeah, I do have the Ravens one pulled up right now.
Okay.
So, in a little bit of a surprising turn of events, we somehow went from somewhat healthy yesterday to less healthy today. So today we had Rashad Bateman limited with an ankle. Lamar Jackson did not practice with the ankle. Then Travis Jones did not practice with a personal deal. And then the rest, Tavius Robinson, Devontae Walker, Ardarius Washington, and Wiggins were all limited today, which week after. But obviously the big did not practice is kind of weighing heavy on all of us right now.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, 86 Ghost with the super chat donation in the chat. Appreciate you. 86 Ghost says Falele good for two things: stepping on Lamar and quote unquote you gonna eat your cornbread. Life the movie. Well, I mean that step on Lamar, it was never proven that it was Lamar. You know that it was Falele and you know in the preseason. But geez, man, that would have sucked. I mean, can you imagine how up in arms the fan base would have been? You know. By the way, did you guys see? I think the Ravens might have put it on Instagram. They put the Daniel Falele Pro Bowl vote up there,
Yeah.
and like people were talking about that.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
Mm.
And then my guy Yuri Ravens, he was like, he brought up a point. He was like, no, let's vote him into the Pro Bowl so like we can get a comp pick or something like that. I guess if the Ravens end up moving him, or I don't know, but it's I don't know. That was pretty funny to me. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. And again, shout out to our guy Ryan from the Flock Rundown for joining us on this episode of the show. Ryan, when you're looking at this injury report here for the Ravens, what really stands out the most to you?
Bateman getting downgraded, I guess. I'm not like crazy concerned with anything on here. I mean, Tavius, I didn't expect Tavius or Ardarius to play, but now it sounds like Ardarius might, so that's kind of exciting. Wiggins, I think, is a great sign that he's able to get two limited, even though it's limited, just two practices in with that. He was in a walking boot like days prior. So I think him even being out on the practice field's a good sign. Tez Walker, with Bateman back, I don't even know how much of his role. We haven't really even seen much Tez Walker. Travis Jones is a personal, so nothing there. I'd say Bateman and Lamar, obviously, but I think Lamar will be back to practice tomorrow. But Bateman just kind of still dealing with that. I want to find a way to get him more involved. I don't know if that's just from a health standpoint, if he's got to be more. I don't know, man. We got to get him more involved. I feel like he's a great quick answer to a lot of problems, and we're just not using him. So I'd like to see a healthy Bateman out there with some volume.
And I'll tell you one thing, you know, Rashad Bateman, we saw a lot of him being kind of like that deep ball threat last year, and it was working like a charm.
Mm-hmm.
And now I would kind of argue maybe Tez Walker might be taking over some of that role. I mean, you saw two deep shots to Tez Walker last week against the Bengals. I know neither one of them connected, but one of them was damn close. It was a really good play by the DB. Yeah. If he would have caught that, it would have been down at like what, the 1 or the 2 yard line. I do wholeheartedly expect number 8 Lamar Jackson to keep going deep towards Tez Walker, because Tez Walker, man, he's got, it's not even necessarily so much his speed, but he's just got a really long stride. You know what I mean? And like he gets around guys and he's able to stack his defender pretty easily and get a good step or two on them. He's just got to get the hands right. He's got to get the hands right and be a little bit more consistent with that. And he could be a real dangerous threat for this Ravens offense moving forward, man. He could be the future. I'm just saying. But so that's the I Word report. Let's go ahead and get into the edge, right? Let's get into the edge.
Real quick.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
I have the Ravens. I have the Steelers is up as well, because they have some names on theirs that we've talked about. Derek Harmon will not play. First round pick out of Oregon, which is huge. O-lineman Calvin Anderson did not practice. Dante Kent did not practice. Kyle Duggar, another big one, did not practice. Aaron Rodgers practiced today. This one, Patrick Queen was limited with the glute. He was reported to maybe miss this game. Looks like he's going to play. So not 100%, but he will make a chance. Will make a attempt to play. But outside of that, though, Eric Harmon is a huge loss for them. No two ways about it.
Those trenches, man. I mean, that's gonna go into, I'm sure, a lot of our keys to victory here, like running the football. I mean, those guys are weak up front. You saw what Buffalo did to them last week. And then you said Patrick Queen. What is he dealing with? You said a quad, I think you said?
Glute.
Oh, a glute. Yeah. Those can definitely hinder you from getting your get off, right? But Patrick Queen, friend of the show, shout out to him as always, man. All right, so let's look at the edge here. Let's take a look at the edge here. Where do the Ravens have the edge over the Steelers? Now, this is courtesy of NFL Pro, these metrics you see here on the screen. For all of the audio listeners on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, make sure you come over to YouTube sometime. Come over to YouTube sometime and check us out there. This is kind of like a internet TV type of show, right? There's production on the screen, right? So it's just more than just us talking. So make sure you check into YouTube for the visuals too. But let's see where the Ravens have the advantage here. So the Ravens on defense compared to the Steelers offense. The Ravens defense have an advantage in pressure rate. Now, well, actually, no, the Steelers have the advantage in pressure rate. Now, I was going to say this. Let me start here. Aaron Rodgers has the second fastest time to throw in the National Football League right now. The Ravens have the fourth lowest pressure rate in the National Football League right now. That right there, those two things could potentially be a recipe for disaster for the Ravens. Because if you think about it, Aaron Rodgers, he's already getting the ball out quick. If he goes up against a defense who's going to give him a little bit of extra time, it's going to feel like he's got all damn day back there, right? And now listen, I'm not too afraid of the likes of, Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. Hell, even a DK Metcalf, he's kind of been underperforming, especially for the contract that they gave, right? However, I do think that with him being able to kind of sit back there, maybe pat that ball once or twice, this could be a big game for the Steelers tight ends, right? I'm looking at Pat Freiermuth. I'm looking at Darnell Washington. Those two names right there, and maybe even a John. I don't know. But the tight ends in general is what I'm going to be looking for right here, which is why I think it's going to be a very, very important game for our linebackers in this one. Roquan Smith, Teddy Buchanan are going to have their absolute work cut out for them all day long. But let me keep going here. For the Ravens defense and their advantages. The Ravens have a defensive advantage in rushing inside the red zone. The Steelers don't really do well at that. They have an advantage at stopping QB scrambles, and the Steelers don't really run that. They got Aaron Rodgers. Rushing out of the shotgun. This one was interesting to me. The Steelers offense ranks number 25 in rushing out of the gun. The Ravens defense ranks number 7th in the league at stopping that. In terms of deep passing, the Steelers offense ranks number 28th in the league to the Ravens defense ranking 16th in the league in stopping deep passes. I heard a crazy stat today. The Steelers have not completed a pass downfield, which I assume is like 20, 25 yards or more, maybe 30, in the last month, right? It's crazy how much Aaron Rodgers is checking it down to the likes of Kenneth Gainwell, to his tight ends, his guys underneath. That's what he's doing, right? I don't think that Aaron Rodgers really wants to hang back there in the pocket too long. So that's something to think about. Moving over to the other side before we get into our keys to victory here, fellas. Steelers defense, or rather the Ravens offense, where do they have an advantage over the Steelers defense? Really, running the football versus a light box, and then overall rushing efficiency, the Ravens have a slight advantage, right? Outside of that, not too much. So I don't really expect this to be a huge game offensively for this Ravens team. I do expect this one to be very, very ugly. And I guess I'll start with, excuse me. I guess I'll start with my keys to victory for this game. Number one, I already kind of mentioned one. Linebackers got to be absolutely on point in this one. There's going to be a lot of stuff underneath. Rally to the ball carrier and tackle, tackle, tackle. And this is a guy who I'm worried about. D-Watch dropping a 2-piece in the chat. Darnell Washington, 6 foot forever and 300-something pounds, right? Like, this guy he might be a problem in the red zone. So whenever you see him with the football, rally to him, get a hat on him, and bring this guy down. I do not want to see this guy wreck our game. It's not like he's wrecked a whole lot of games, this season overall, but I could totally see the Ravens being his coming out party. So do not let that happen. That's going to be one of my bigger key to victories. But Ryan, I'll toss it to you next. What is your biggest key to victory for the Ravens to walk out of M&T Bank Stadium 7-6?
Oh, I got a few. I love the tackling one. That's going to be massive in this game. I think this needs to be our most physical game of the year. But getting the run game going, getting more outside runs going,
Yes.
getting Keaton to the edge. Love Derek too. Obviously, I want him to get going too. But I'm just saying the combo of I think the Steelers last week, and it doesn't mean it's going to continue, but they struggled with containing the edge, and the Bills ran crazy on them. 249 yards or whatever. So I mean, I think this is the game where we can get our run game going and mix the runs up. You don't have to go heavy all the time either. We can spread them out a little bit and attack that way. But I think the Ravens defense should be able to contain Pitt's offense, stop the run. I just don't see a lot of threats on Pitt's offense. That's why I think it's tackling. Tackling on defense is the most important thing because I mean, they just signed Thielen. They got DK, but they've been using DK in short situations only, like you talked about earlier. Like they're getting the ball out of their hands super quick. So it's about tackling on defense. And actually, I'll give my biggest key. I know I was kind of gave 3 there. My biggest key on offense is hold on to the ball. Like we win so many games when we just don't turn the ball over. And that Bengals game, we were coming off a 5 turnover game. We can't have anything similar to that. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, you might have one random turnover, but like, just don't have a meltdown of turnovers. I think we control this game if we hold on to the ball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I totally agree with all of those. Alex, what's your biggest key to victory, man?
I have a couple. Defensively, if you shut down Warren and Gainwell, their offense, in a very nice way, sucks. Though it really is. I've watched a couple of their games recently. They had life after Gainwell took that fake tush push damn near for a touchdown, and it sparked them. After that, there was really nothing there. And then offense, I saw Todd Munkin say that, we're safe ball drills. Second time this year. Is that not a problem to anybody else that we're putting emphasis on holding the ball? That's embarrassing. And then, with Derek Harmon out, I really want to see something from our line. I've been saying that every week, but how long is a leash on Voorhees? Since it is him, it's not Lele. How long is that leash? Is it one drive? I don't know, but you've got to get changed somewhere. And this isn't the week then. Not going to say kiss the season goodbye, but kiss the season goodbye. You put yourself in a really tough spot. Go to Cincinnati next week. This game holds a lot in the season. I don't want to hype it up to be as big as it is, but it really is that big, I think. Not for us, for the Steelers. So what team wants it more? I'm not sure. What team likes their coach or backs their coach more? I'm not sure because Tomlin got booed out of the stadium by Steeler fans, and so did Harbaugh by the Ravens fans. We're in a really similar situation, and it really wouldn't win it any other way. Us and the Steelers, kind of at the same level. It just is fitting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, right? As we all know, Ravens versus Steelers, probably one of the most physical matchups in football, in sports. This is going to be a phone booth football game, right? You have to stay ahead of the sticks in this one. So what I mean is on 1st and 10, you got to get at least 4 yards. I don't want to see any of this tackle for loss to only maybe a 2-yard gain, a 3-yard gain. No. The last thing you want is to be in 3rd and 6 or longer. Right? I want to see some 3rd and 4s. I want to see some 2nd and shorts, right? Let's open up that playbook. Let's get creative, right? Like you mentioned, Ryan, outside runs. The Steelers were getting gashed by that. I want to see Keaton Mitchell. Let's see some tosses. Let's see some screens to Keaton Mitchell. Get him involved early. I don't want to see any telegraphed Derrick Henry runs up the middle. Well, not any, right? Because of course you're gonna have to go mano a mano. Hey, look, we're throwing Derrick Henry at you. You guys know it. We know you know it. Try to stop it, right? I understand that, and that's why I want to see a lot of these duo runs because that was also what was really killing the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. And that was actually I went back today and I looked at the playoff game from the Ravens and Steelers matchup last year, and the very first run that Derrick Henry broke off for 10+ yards was a duo run, right? And it literally the hole for Derrick Henry parted like the Red Sea, right? I mean, the blocking was perfect. That was back when we had Makari. Alex, you bring up Emory Jones and whether or not he'll, get some snaps in this one too. I fully do expect him to be rotating in and out with Andrew Voorhees, much like last week in the Thanksgiving matchup. I think he'll get a little bit more than 16 snaps like he got last week. But if he can step up and he can start to really perform well, and I think he has some things to build off of from last week. I want to say this offensive line can kind of catapult this run game to kind of really finishing their food in a lot of ways because I feel like the Ravens leave a lot of yards on the field, right, due to the offensive line not really doing their blocking the way that they should. And in a phone booth fight like this, you have to be able to run the football. It's just point blank period. You got to be able to run the football. That's AFC North right there. The But yeah, those are our keys to victory. So let's get into something a little bit more fun. Let's do a bold prediction here. Let me get a bold prediction from each of you gentlemen. Ryan, we'll start with you. What's your bold prediction for this Ravens versus Steelers game? Give me one.
I got Derrick Henry going for 170 plus and 2 touchdowns. I think I think we see. It's funny you brought up the Ravens Steelers end of last season wild card round, and when we played them at the bank right before at the end of the season. I just feel like this is that get right game that I just feel like Ravens are a much better team and they haven't been playing like it, and I just think we come out swinging and Derrick Henry goes crazy.
Yeah, I love that. Alex, what about you?
Give me Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely touchdowns. Tight ends show up. Andrews gets his first and Likely kind of gets his saying, pay me too. But you bring up the games last year, electric atmosphere, both of them. It has to be the same way. Fans have got to be on their A game.
Okay. I mean, I like that. Here's what I'll say. Let me set the scene for you guys. I'm thinking it's 3rd and 4, right? Steelers got to have this one. And the Steelers are on offense, by the way. 3rd and 4. Kyle Hamilton is near the line of scrimmage. He's showing blitz, right? He's showing blitz from one side in particular. Aaron Rodgers knows to throw to his hot side, right? Throw to that void when he's getting blitzed. I think Kyle Hamilton drops out at the last second. Aaron Rodgers throws it over the middle. Kyle Hamilton gets that long frame up. Not quite enough in time to get a clean interception, but just in time to tip the ball. And it falls into Roquan Smith's hand for an interception. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a Roquan Smith interception in this one. I know out of all things, it's like, really, Sutton, a Roquan Smith interception? But I had dreams about this. I literally was imagining this in my head earlier today and before bed last night after I got off stream. I was like, I really could see that happening. If it does happen, we got to clip this and it'll be all over Twitter. Say,
yeah. You already knew. Yeah, they already knew.
I can totally see it. But those are going to be our bold predictions. Now let's do some score predictions before we move on to our NFL picks for the week. Score predictions for me, I do think this is going to be a very, very low scoring affair. I don't see either team scoring 30. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go, this might seem a little bit like a cliche score for a Ravens versus Steelers game, but I'm going to go 23-20 Ravens. Okay. Ryan, you?
Yeah, I'm sticking with this has got the end of last year written on it, and we handled them, man. So I'm going 31-17 Ravens.
Okay. I hope you're right. Alex, you?
I love that a lot. That game was losing my head free. What a fun game it was. 24-16 Ravens. 24-16.
Okay. All right. So me and you, Alex, we're kind of on the same page here. A little bit more modest score for this Ravens team. I just don't think that this Ravens offense is there yet, and I don't think that this is the week that they're going to really get their get right game, especially not for the passing game, which might frustrate a lot of fans. Surprise, surprise! In our parlay segment, I am going to take Lamar Jackson under 1.5 touchdowns. I don't know what the line is for that, but I assume it's at 1.5. I'm going to take the under on his touchdown passes this week for the first time in a long time. He just hasn't been doing it recently. I don't think that this is the game that he gets back on track. I think it's going to be a big running game. As a matter of fact, I agree with your bold prediction, Ryan. I don't know about 170 for Derrick Henry, but I do see 2 touchdowns. I do like that. By the way, Alex, you know what? We'll get into it in our Purple Rain Parlay segment because our lotto almost hit last week. If our coaches weren't completely incompetent, it might have actually hit. Gosh. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a few seconds. But next, guys, we got our Purple Rain pick segment coming up. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and show you guys how we did, or I'll tell you guys how we did last week. So we did kind of backslide a little bit. The week before last, we were at both. I think we were both at 79% hits or something like that. This week, last week rather, Alex, you went 9 for 16, which is 56%. I went 10 for 16, which was 63%. So we got to bounce back. We got over half, but we got to bounce back. Yeah. Ryan, are you good at picking games?
I don't know, average. No, I'm not gonna hype myself up and say I'm nice at it. Nah.
All right, well, I mean, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's try your luck. So, without any further ado, let's go and get into our Purple Rain picks segment.
Yes. Purple Rain picks. Starting off tonight with Thursday night football. Cowboys, Lions in Detroit.
It's a good one.
Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Lions in this one. I guess we'll go from left to right in the order.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
So Ryan,
Lions.
who you got?
Lions at home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, man. I just
I'm
think
going
that
Cowboys.
They won't be able. The Cowboys. You're going Cowboys?
Should be a good
I'm
game.
going Cowboys.
It's gonna be a good game. I don't
Yeah.
think the
I don't
Cowboys
go
are
against
gonna
the
be able to stop the
Lions.
run.
I just think their offense is too good, and I think Dan Campbell is going to do some bonehead fourth downs again. I really do.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. We got another super chat donation in the house. Uh-oh. It's a bomb. Who's that making it rain? It's Gerald in the house. None other than G Money dropping the 50 ball in the chat. Says, what up, PRP? Very disappointed season, but I do have the Ravens winning against the Steelers and making the playoffs. I know that's right, G Money. We appreciate you for your super chat donation as always, and we love that prediction, man. We love that prediction. Hopefully we go to the playoffs and we do much more in the playoffs. Good vibes. Always, man. Good vibes. We'll keep that up there for a minute here. Go ahead to the next one, Alex.
This is an interesting one. Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, Titans, Browns.
I'm going to go Browns in this one. I mean, Titans, again, I told you last week, they are jockeying for position for that first pick if I've ever seen somebody do it before. Browns, they just want any sort of spark, any sort of like sliver of hope that Shador maybe is the guy, right? So I'm going to go with the Browns in this one just because they needed more. Give me the Browns and their defense.
Yeah. I'm going with the Browns because of the defense. Myles Garrett's going absolutely crazy this year.
Yeah. Browns for sure. Browns sweep. Moving on. Seahawks and Falcons in Atlanta.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one. Pretty easy for me. You know, Penix probably out for the year, right? Yeah, out for the year. That's unfortunate. I don't even know what his future playing career really looks like because the guy's been super injury prone. So, but the Seahawks, they're riding high. Mike McDonald, I just got done glazing him at the top of this episode. It won't stop now. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks. I just think they're the most well-rounded team, playing great defense right now too. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going crazy. I'm going Seattle.
Wow. Yeah, no brainer. Seattle. This one though, Colts, Jags in Jacksonville.
Give me the Jags in this one. I'm going to take the Jags over the Colts. I said it early in the year when the Colts were flying higher than high. I said that they will crash and burn at some point, and it seems like that's what they're doing. Jonathan Taylor's coming back down to earth. Daniel Jones is looking like the Daniel Jones we know and love from before. Give me the Jags in this one.
Yeah, it's a good game. I mean, both teams are probably doing a little bit better than most thought. I think I'm gonna go with the Colts. I think they rebound, but yeah, they're not headed in the right direction. But I'm going with the Colts in this one. Division game.
So am I. I think JT bounces back. Thinks has a big game on the ground. 125 plus. Colts win. Next up, Commanders Vikings. 5 might be back.
Commanders Vikings. This is one where oddly, I think the Vikings are favorite -1.5. Alex, can you check on that for me? Last time I checked, I think they were -1.5, which was kind of crazy to me. Jaden Daniels coming back this week. I'm gonna take the Commanders, and I'm actually gonna take them to cover -1.5 Washington.
Yeah, I like that with Jaden Daniels coming back. I'm just not seeing any life from the Vikings offense. I don't know how they put up a lot of points. Yeah, Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders as well. Next up though, Bengals and Bills in Buffalo.
This one could get tricky.
Yeah.
All week long, national media has been hyping up Joe Burrow and the Bengals for what they did to our Baltimore Ravens on Thanksgiving Day. Trust me, I get it, but I do think that the Bills walk away with this one and kind of put the Bengals back in their place, right back in their place. If anything, I'm rooting for the Bills this week. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills win too. I think that ends the Bengals season because that'll give them 9 losses. No way they're getting in with 9 losses. So yeah. I'm going with Bills. I think the Ravens had an absolute meltdown with 5 turnovers, and unless you have something like that, you're going to be able to put up some points on that Bengals defense.
Yeah, easily Bills end their season. Saints and Bucks in Tampa.
This one I have the Bucks beating the Saints. Really a no-brainer for me. Give me the Bucks.
Yep, Bucks for sure. Way better team.
Yeah, easy. Steelers, Ravens. We all have the Ravens. Dolphins and Jets in New York.
This is an interesting one. This is a tricky one. Can you give me the spread on that one? I'm pretty sure the Dolphins are probably favored.
Yes, by 3.
Yeah.
3
I'm
even.
still going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets in this one. I do think that this Jets defense is a little bit better than people give them credit for. And this Dolphins, they've been kind of like streaky recently. Like they've been kind of coming on strong lately. But I'm going to take the Jets in a close one, probably within like 5 points, right? Give me the Jets, though.
Yeah, Jets have definitely been playing better. So have the Dolphins, though. I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. But I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. But I would take Jet spread and then Dolphins money. Wait, yeah. By a point or two. Yeah. Moving on. 4 o'clock games. Broncos, Raiders.
You're muted.
Oh, am I? Oh, well,
No.
I was muted. My bad. Now give me the Broncos in this one. Best pass rush in the league, most sacks in the league, man. And Bo Nix, kind of up and down, but I mean, fourth quarter, man, they're making it happen, man. But I don't think that the Raiders would really contest with them anyway. The Raiders have just been a huge disappointment this season. But give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos. Just hoping it's better than the last time they played. I think it was like 10-7. It was like one of the worst games. But Broncos consistently pulling out close wins every week right now. But so I'm gonna give them another win here.
Yeah, find ways to win. Give me the Broncos. Here we go. Rams and Cardinals. I had the Rams as the best team in the league last week, and they lose to the Panthers. Now they're in Arizona.
Yeah, we both have egg on our face for that one because we didn't even give the Panthers a chance last week, and they got the W. So I mean, Shout out to the Panthers. They're kind of like they're one of those teams. They don't know what they want to be. One week Bryce Young looks like an all-world franchise quarterback. The next week he looks mediocre as mediocre can get. So you really don't know what to get with the Panthers. But this isn't about them. Give me the Rams over the Cardinals.
Yep, Rams bounce back.
Yeah, easy Rams. Here we go. Bears, Packers. Lambeau, 425.
I do have the Packers winning this game. I have the Packers over the Bears. I think that Packers defense is going to be able to shut down the Bears run, make the Bears one-dimensional. And if you do that and you force Caleb Williams to win a game, I don't see him doing that at this point. I think things have to go just right for the Bears to win most of the time. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I'm also going Packers at home. I think I don't know, maybe I'm biased because we busted the Bears with Huntley, and I'm just like, man, the Bears, I look and they got the number 1 seed in the NFC, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm going with Green Bay.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a fake number 1, and Michael Parsons will make their day a living hell. Give me the Packers. Here we go. Sunday Night Football. This one is interesting. Texans and the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Yeah, so this is another tough one. Chiefs gotta have it, right? You gotta have this one. I think the Chiefs have the Texans this week, and then I think next week they have the Chargers, I want to say. Two tough back-to-back matchups there, but I do have the Texans winning this one. I think that the Texans defense will be just a little bit too much for the Chiefs offense. Again, the Chiefs have been abysmal running the football for the majority of the season. They're pretty one-dimensional right now, and what do the Texans do best? Pass rush, right? So give me the Texans in this one.
Yeah, the Texans defense is definitely a big problem for the Chiefs, and they're banged up O-line too. I just think KC finds a way at home though, but I wouldn't be shocked. I think this is an ugly one, but maybe it's because the Chiefs always find a way when they have to, and it just seems like they're going to do it again. But I'm believing that until they don't.
Yeah, I said the same thing last week. They let me down. I'm going with them again. I have Kansas City pulling this one out. Finally, Monday Night Football. Eagles at the Chargers. No Jalen Carter. Just heads up.
Yeah, that is a huge blow for sure. But I'll say this. I mean, this Chargers defense, quiet as kept, they're pretty damn good too, especially their pass rush. The Eagles have not really looked like themselves really all year, dealing with a lot of identity issues. You got A.J. Brown crying one week, then he gets 2 touchdowns and they still lose. And it's a lot. Saquon Barkley's not doing a whole bunch this year. I do know and recognize that Justin Herbert is dealing with a left hand I-word, and he's got a cast over it or something like that. But I do think that the Chargers still go ahead and win this game. It's going to be a close one, but give me the Chargers.
Yeah, this one's tough. I'm going to go with Eagles. I just think that Herbert is going to be severely limited with that injury. And not that the Eagles are balling, but I just think that they can score a bit more. Although I think Omarion Hampton's coming back too, which would be a nice boost for the Chargers. I'm going with Philly, though.
Yeah, I'm going Philly in a close one. I think Saquon will have a big play that kind of seals it for them. Yeah, Eagles for me.
2 sacks in that game.
Oh,
probably.
Just wait on it, man. I don't even know how many sacks does Oweh have on the season. I kind of want to know.
I want to look it up. I stopped following. I got when he left.
He's 4 sacks. He hasn't had a sack in 3 games.
Okay. But 4 sacks, I mean, he would lead all the Ravens right now.
Yeah.
And that's just since he's been on the Chargers, which is, again, still crazy to me. Nnamdi Madubuike is a half sack out of the lead for leading the Ravens in sacks.
Draymond Jones, I think, has like 6.5 now, but he didn't do them here. So
yeah.
Oh
my gosh, man. We got to step it up in that department, guys. We got to step it up. All right. So those were our week 14 picks. I have a good feeling about this one. I mean, I know we kind of differed on picks in this one, but for me, I'm banking on 70%. I'm banking on 70%, and we will check back in with you guys next week to see who did what. But now it's time for one of our favorite parts of the show, right? It's time to make us some money. In our final segment of this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Be sure to subscribe to the Flock Rundown. The link is in the description. Also, if you're watching on X right now, his @handle for X is actually in the post that you're watching this live stream on. So make sure you give him a follow there too. And also give me a follow as well on X. I'd appreciate that. And if you want to follow this guy all the way over on the other side of the screen, @SimplyAS10. You guys know where to find him as well. But Alex, it's time for us to go ahead and get into our Purple Rain Parlay segment. Let's do it.
Let's make some. There we go. All right. Already got it in the lay. Lamar under 1.5 passing touchdowns. Minus 132.
Yes, wait, real quick. Do you guys agree with that or no?
It's tough.
I mean, I have
low. Yeah, it's going to be low. 1 or 2. I think it's priced.
I have my bold prediction of Andrews unlikely, but I think if I'm playing it safe, I'm putting under.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Let's take a look at some rushing props. How about that?
Yeah, I mean they're up. What player are you thinking of?
What's Henry at? Because I mean, Ryan says 170 for Henry.
Well, I was based off last year was 160. Last year was 160 against the Steelers.
Okay. What's his line at?
It's at 80.5.
I like that.
80.5. Not bad.
No Keaton props, by the way.
No Keaton props. I mean, he only had 2 carries last week for 19 yards and a touchdown. If he would have just had a couple more carries, our lotto could have hit, which is crazy. But because we did predict the touchdown from Keaton. But I like over 80.5 rushing yards. They're going to bludgeon. The Steelers. As a matter of fact, I love that. Over 80.5 rushing yards, mainly because when I was watching some of the tape from last year with Ravens versus Steelers, especially in the games we won, they were throwing some extremely heavy packages at the Steelers. I'm talking about extra offensive linemen. I remember Josh Jones was a big part of that game plan. He was in the game on multiple downs, right? And we were just like, running it right down their throat.
Bro, the Wired, like Kohler and Ricard were like, we're running every play and they know it's coming and they can't stop it. And they're like talking about it on the sideline. Like they know exactly what we're doing and they can't stop it. Not saying that we're playing at that exact level right now, but it's possible.
Yeah. So I like the over 80.5. Let's throw that in there too.
Nice. All right. Any receiving props you thinking?
Is Bateman like really low? I could see him getting like 2.
I'm glad you asked. Receptions 1.5, receiving yards 19.5.
Yeah, dude, how does he not get 2 catches? But it hasn't happened. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, based off like snap share and talent, It just seems like he, and especially being able to, like, we're going to have to throw quick too. I think that's also an answer to unlock a lot of things, is have a better quick passing game. And he's a man beater. He can run slants and get open. I don't know. I'm not saying bet that. I would not be surprised if he gets catches.
What about Zay Flowers? What's his receiving yards line?
His yards, 56.5.
Classic.
Yeah. They know.
Yeah, they know exactly what Zay Flowers is about to do. Yeah, man. Because I do
Andrews
think that Zay has a pretty good game. Go ahead. What's Andrews?
He's at 3.5 receptions. That's interesting to me. I think he might get fed. New contract.
Yeah.
Just punch.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And what's his yards at, Andrews? Because I might like the yards.
33.5.
What's Zay's yards?
You said 56, right? 56.
Or what's his receptions then?
Receptions.
That's
probably
4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic again. You know exactly what
they know it, man. Freaking know it.
Yeah, we'll leave this one to you, Ryan. Do you think that Zay Flowers over 4.5 catches, or do you like Mark Andrews over 3.5 catches? Which one do you like better? Or bait over 1.5?
Bait would have to get 2. Zay would have to get 5 if we went over. I think Zay 5 catches is reasonable. I'm not sure about how many yards, but I think they get him the ball. You know what I mean? Like that yardage is probably lower. I wouldn't be shocked if it is around 50 yards, but like 5 catches for 50 yards sounds about right.
Yeah. No touchdowns for Zay?
It'd be nice, but no, I'm not predicting that.
I know my chat was gonna ask. The chat was gonna ask. I won't start. I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna start today. I promise. But okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think. Are you comfortable with that, Alex? Zay over 4.5 catches?
I am. We're at a plus 490.
Okay. All right. I'm with it. I love it. If you guys like it, I love it. Let's do it. Let's lock it in. Plus 490. There you have it first. Go ahead and run through them again one more time, Alex.
Lamar Jackson under 1.5 touchdowns. Derrick Henry over 80.5 rushing yards, and Zay Flowers over 4.5 catches.
Okay. Love it. Love it. And there you have it, guys. There you have it. That is our Purple Rain Parlay segment for the week. As always, as you guys can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, if you're going to tail us, please, please, please gamble responsibly. All right, let's go ahead and get back to our normal studio here. And that pretty much about does it for us here at PRP. It's been an amazing episode 357 with our guy Ryan from the Flock Rundown coming back and joining us. He's been great this episode, man. We love Ryan from the Flock Rundown. Let's go ahead and give him a round of applause here in the chat, man. Big shout out to you, Ryan. You're awesome. Closing in on 15,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this right now, if you're one of the 100 plus people watching live right now, please go on YouTube. Click in the description of this video to link to his channel. If you're not subscribed to him already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so he can get his 15K, man. But Ryan, again, we appreciate you. Any final words on this Ravens team outlook on the rest of the season? What do you got for us?
Man, this Sunday is going to define a lot. So show up, show out, defend home turf. I'm tired of getting embarrassed in big games at the bank. You know, the legends are there watching. Like, let's ball out, man. Most physical game of the season. Backs against the wall. First place in the North on the line. And more importantly, let's start riding some momentum here, building some momentum moving forward. Because, we got 5-game winning streak. We were looking good. And then we had an absolute meltdown against Cincy in prime time. It's time to get back on the horse here, man. Play a physical game, get the run game going, get a decisive dub against the Steelers, and take control of the North. That's how I'm feeling.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Love that. And I actually have one last question for you, if you don't mind. Mind, I got one last question. We asked this to Jason the other day. I promise it's not about Zay Flowers. But the question is this. Do you think that, given how the season is going right now, the Ravens are 6-6 in Week 14. Nobody could have saw this coming. Do you think that it's still Super Bowl or bust? And by bust, I mean fire the coach, John Harbaugh. At this point, do you think it's still S-Bob for the Ravens?
Ooh, it really depends how far we go and how. I think if we keep like underperforming to a massive level, Super Bowl bust for Harbaugh. If we go to like the AFC Championship, I don't think we're firing John Harbaugh. But if we miss the playoffs or get bounced in the first round and it's ugly, yeah, I could see it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean,
it's hard to, Super Bowl. Like, I think there's a gray area in between where like we could still like be knocking on the door of a Super Bowl and really turn this around and have like a great run. And then I just don't think they're moving on. Not to say that wouldn't be the best move. I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't think they would. But if we miss the playoffs, absolutely. And if we're like a first round exit and it looks ugly like it has been, and we just keep playing inconsistent ball, I could definitely see some changes.
I love that. I mean, I know for me, if we see the Harbs face, and we all know what the Harbs face is, right? If we see that on the sideline this week, I want the hell out of here by Monday. To be honest with you,
it ain't gonna happen
personally.
During the season,
I know it ain't gonna happen. I know it ain't gonna happen, but I wish it would. Miss Fancy Pants in the chat says we don't talk about him anymore. Talking about John Harbaugh. We almost made it through a whole entire episode, Miss Fancy Pants, without mentioning he who shall not be named, right? But John Harbaugh, hopefully he can rally the troops and we can go on a deep playoff run, maybe win a Super Bowl. Who knows? I don't know. But that is going to do it for us here on this episode 357 of PRP. Again, big shout out to our guy Ryan for coming through. Hopefully we can have him on maybe sooner than later, maybe sometime before the season ends. Who knows?
Let me know.
You know?
Whenever.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Playoffs, right? Playoffs. There we go. Sounds good. If we make the playoffs, we're going to do a big community stream like we did last year. Alex, does that sound good?
Nice.
Can we do that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's cool.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, of course, as always, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Maybe join our memberships. We do have memberships. Our membership videos coming out every single week here at the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. So make sure if you do want to catch those exclusive videos, sign up for our memberships here at PRP. But most importantly, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Always remember, stay positive, test negative. Never, ever forget, even on the rainy some days, to call God. And, I didn't even let my guy Alex take us out. But, Alex, go ahead and do your thing, man.
No, you did it. You hit it on the head.
Are we good?
Hope everybody has a great weekend. Has a great weekend, and see you on Victory Monday. Why not?
See you on Victory Monday. Peace out, guys.
Nice.
All right. Nice. Appreciate you, Ryan.
Thanks, sir.
No doubt, man. Are we still live?
Oh,
we should be.